What's up, guys? It's your boy True Exodus 7 here. Today, coming at you guys with some life stories. Reason I'm not doing a gameplay tonight, I'll just call it how it is, straight down the middle with you guys. I am so tired. Like, I am beat up. It has been a super hectic day. There has just been so much shit. Texting the wife right now. But, anyway, sorry. So, what's up, Maddie? How you doing? What's up, Mrs. Garner? How you doing? So, anyway, it's been a hectic day. A lot of bullshit going on. Didn't really feel in the mood to play a video game. I did live stream earlier. If you have not seen the video that I did with Pixel Clubhouse, otherwise known as Quentin and DJ, and also the hashtag SALTSQUAD, go over to my YouTube channel. It should be like in this corner over here, I think. Maybe it's that corner. I don't know. Whatever corner it is, later tonight, and click on it and watch that video. It's fucking awesome. So, what's up, Sid Void? How you doing? So, let's get into some life stories. So before I get into some, I just want to say, disclaimer ahead of time. The last time I did one of these, a lot of people complained that they were revealing. And some people complained that they didn't like the fact I talked about my past drug use. Let me make something clear, okay? Make this as cold cut, fucking gray area as I fucking can, okay? This is our YouTube, okay? This is our YouTube, everybody involved. But I'm going to talk about whatever I feel like talking about on this YouTube. I'm going to say whatever I want to say on this platform. It's that simple. Yes, I am somewhat Sid Wood. But I'm going to talk and tell stories about what I want to. It's my channel to do so with. So if you are offended by drug talk, if you are offended by sexual talk, if you are offended by vaping or anything else that I do, you might want to leave. Go ahead. It's okay. Go ahead, leave now. It's okay. Anyway, for all you sick, crazy motherfuckers in the True Nerd Nation, though, that love my life stories, now's the time to hear some. So, let me know in the comments right now, for everybody watching, what kind of life stories do you guys want to hear? Hit me in the comments right now. Do you want to hear school stories? Do you want to hear summer stories? Do you want to hear party stories? Let me know, and I'll tell you guys some. Drop a comment. If you're watching this pre-recorded, skip ahead in the video. Because I'm going to let the live audience decide what kind of stories I tell. Because I have a fuck ton of them. I'm not going to tell, I'm not going to tell a bunch of them, but I'm going to tell some. Maddie, I have a whole video on how we met, dear. I have a full video that I dedicated just to me and you. Could talk about our first date, though. That is an option. That is an option. Okay. So the wife is in the comments, and Mrs. Garner's agreeing with her that I should tell you guys about the first date I went on with the wife. Okay. So I'll tell that one first, and we'll go from there. And the first kiss. Okay. I'll tell you guys both. It's a 2-for-1 deal. Strap your seatbelt in, and get something to smoke or vape on. Let's go. Alright, so the first date me and the wife went on was two and a half almost years ago. We weren't even dating yet. We were not a couple. And we had talked about going out on a date. We talked about going to a restaurant or some shit, you know, just something every typical I like you too couple does when they're not dating yet. And so we agreed to Steak and Shake. And for those of you who maybe don't know what Steak and Shake is, because I just learned the other day that like Steak and Shake is an American thing, which really blows my mind. I thought they were like worldwide. I worked for Steak and Shake, and I didn't even know we were America exclusive. So yeah, Steak and Shake, get your shit together. Anyway, I'm getting off track. We decided to go to Steak and Shake. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's basically a Big Boys or a classic burger joint. Best way I can describe it to you. So, I told her we were going to go sometime. I didn't tell her that's where we were going. I didn't tell her when we were going. I just said we would go sometime. So one day after school, because we were still in high school when we first started talking and getting together and stuff. So, I picked her up from school, because I got out of school early from a work program. I picked her up, and we got in the car. She said, alright, take me to my house. And I said, nope, not happening. She said, what? I said, I'm not taking you to your house. We are going to go on our first date. And she said, oh, are we? And she was like asking where we were going to go and whatnot. And I told her, I was like, well, I said, you'll see when we get there. This is going to be an adventure. So we drive, we get on the highway, and my driving scares the fuck out of her because I drive like 100 everywhere, straight up. That's why I don't have a license anymore. That's why I don't have a license anymore. Learn a lesson, kids. Anyway, so we're driving like 100 down the highway. We pull up to Steak and Shake. We walk in. We get greeted at the door by one of the waitresses. They show us to a table. I pull the chair out for her, sit her down, scoot the chair in. And we're sitting there, and we're laughing, and we're talking, and we order some food. And we start eating and stuff, and it was just overall like a fun time. We talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about like kids, like not what kids we were gonna have with each other, because like I said, we weren't even officially together at the time. We just talked like about our relationship in general, or the kids we wanted to have in general. Sorry, and she wanted to have the same kids I wanted to have, and I let her go first. That's the thing. Like, I let her tell me what kids she wanted to have first, because I didn't want to say it and then her just agree with me. I wanted to see if me and her like clicked on that level, and she wanted to have 2 boys, 1 girl. So that's always what I wanted to have, is 2 boys, 1 girl. So we just clicked and we had a good time, and she looked phenomenal. She looked beautiful as always. Anybody that knows Maddie, she's always good looking. She's always been good looking. She is an 11,000 million infinity out of 10, and I'm like a 2. I'm a potato. So I'm really shocked that I got a girl as gorgeous as her. So that was pretty much our first date. Kind of boring, I guess, to most people, but it was really fun to us. I dropped her off. I gave her a hug. That was pretty much it. The rest is history. We kept going on dates. Finally, she asked me out, which was funny because normally it's the other way around. But if you guys have watched my how the wife and I started dating thing, then you already know how that happened. So I'm not going to sit here and explain that whole thing again. So, yeah, anyway. So now, the other story that the wife and Mrs. Gerner and others have asked me to tell is the first time me and the wife kissed. You sick bastards. Okay, I'll tell this. Okay, so at the time, me and the wife, actually, let me check some comments real quick. Okay. Yes, Mr. Void, it is interesting. Maddie, you looked great. What's up, Logan? How you doing, man? Thought our hearts were here. We're red, not purple. Should be surprised. Blood. Yeah, Sid, correct. Cute potato. A sweet French fry. No, you Jesus. No, Logan, I'm not. But I do have Jesus hair. Me and Jacob started dating because I got rejected by his friend when I told Jacob not to. That's fucking great, Caitlin. Okay, so on to the first kiss story. Okay, this one's kind of fucked up on the wife's part. To be honest, this is really fucked up on the wife's part. So at the time, I was single. She was single. We weren't together yet. We were not. If she tells you we were, she's fucking lying. We were not a thing. I was talking to this girl that was not really... I don't really know how to say this without hurting, without triggering people. Let's just say... I don't know. Let's just say that she got around a lot. I'm just gonna leave it at that. She got around a lot. I was talking to this girl that got around a lot, and the wife was very interested in me. Okay, and I was interested in the wife. I was very interested in her, but this is where the story gets fucked up on both of our parts. I understood how she looked and how I looked. I understood the fact she's a 10, I'm a 2. I understood the fact she wore name brand, I wore wrestling tees and comic book shirts. So I didn't think I stood a chance. I did not. I thought Maddie was just a friend that would let me flirt with her. I didn't realize she was into me at the time. So a couple days went by, me and the wife, before she was even the wife, she was just Maddie. We were talking and like clicking and just talking about a whole bunch of stuff, bands, TV shows. We both liked Orange is the New Black. That was one of the conversations we had occasionally. And one day, I just looked at her, and I was like, you know, I said, if you were any shorter, I'd probably marry you, as a joke. I said it as a joke. And, anyway, I said it as a joke, and she texted me later that night, and we started talking more, and she said, are you and, oh, what the fuck are we gonna call this other girl? You know what? We're just gonna call her Mushroom. That's all we're gonna call her. She said, are you and Mushroom still talking? And I said, not really into her. A lot of reasons why, one of which is because she just kind of gets around. I hate saying that because I know guys, when they're single, get around a lot. I think it's I don't believe in double standards, but this chick, this chick did get around a lot. And not in the way getting around where she's like dating a guy and she has sex with him and then they break up. Like, no, she just kind of, you know. Anyway, sorry. So, I'm texting with Maddie. Tell her, no, I'm not really into. Okay, you guys are call her Becky or Becky. We're just gonna call her Becky. You and Becky still talking? No, we're not. We're not talking at all at this point. And so the wife says, I bet you won't kiss me tomorrow. So in my head, I'm like, alright, I got this. So, I'll show you guys what I did real quick. Swear to God, this is what I was doing. Okay? The night before school. Swear to fucking God. You guys see this mirror right here? See this mirror right here? Hold up. Swear to fucking God. That night, I stood here just like this, looking in this mirror. You guys can barely see me. I stood right here, fucking doing jumping jacks and fucking getting myself all pumped up. Because I had a fucking point to prove. I had a fucking point to prove. You can't see my head. Oh my God, computer, shut the hell up. Anyway, sorry. So, I was just sitting in that mirror, pep talking myself, making myself believe in myself. That doesn't even make sense. Anyway, pep talking the shit out of myself. You got this, Christian. Come on, we got this. So, next morning rolls around. I text the wife when I get up. Said, hey, good morning. I bet you I'm gonna win that bet today. I thought I was smooth. I was as smooth as a teenager's face. And she was like, no, you're not. Bet. And I was like, does she not want me to kiss her now? Like, I was so confused. So fucking confused. So I get to school that day. And I walk up to her. And she's like in a huge circle with all of her friends. But in this is the fucked up part. Okay? This makes me a bad person. I understand I'm a bad person. I raise my hand and acknowledge that... No, Garrett, that was the joke. Anyway, I understand I'm a bad person for this. I understand I'm a shitty individual for this. And I don't regret this at all. But this was bogus. In Maddie's little circle of people that she was standing with was Becky. So I walk straight up to Maddie. I said, bet! And she turned around, and we kissed. And it wasn't like a passionate make-out, fucking kiss. It was just a peck. Peck on the lips. That was it. What's up, Chloe? How you doing? What's up, Brownie Man? How you doing? So, it was a peck on the lips, and Becky got mad, and Maddie was happy, and I was happy, and I walked Maddie to class that day, and a couple days later, she asked me to be her boyfriend, And the rest is history. That's pretty much it. That's all I can think that happened that day. I think we kissed a couple more times. I didn't brush my teeth that day. But I ate a lot of mints on the way to school. Alright, let me explain that. I ran out of time to brush my teeth. That was the problem. Poor Becky was mad. What do you mean it looks weird, Mr. Hitman? What looks weird? The lighting? We did kiss later that day at your locker, and I ate a lot more mints before that, because my breath was kicking. I had fire breath that day, dragon breath, whatever you want to call it. You did know me before, Madison Gart. You did. You guys want to hear a funny fucking weed story? The camera is so small. What the fuck are you talking about? Mr. Hitman, the camera, what are you talking about? I'm so confused. I'm gonna go on mobile. I'll go on mobile real quick. What's up, Logan? The camera looks fine, Mr. Hitman. What are you talking about? I don't know. Anyway. Everybody please remember to drop a like as well, by the way. Anyway, so I'll tell you guys a funny-ass weed story if you guys want to hear it. Because it's pretty fucking funny. Pretty fucking funny. Let me know. If you're watching this pre-recorded, skip ahead. Let me know in the live chat comments if you guys want to hear a funny-ass weed story, because I got a couple of them. I got a lot of them, actually. Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs, children. Okay. I will tell one after this one, Mr. Hitman. Gart, you do know who Becky is. It's funny. Don't put it in the chat though. I don't want any drama. Because if she for some reason watches my YouTube, it's on. You already know. Alright. Here's the weed story. This story is about the time my dad found my bong. Okay. This is what happened. At the time, my grandma Shar, not the grandma I live with, my grandma on my dad's side. I live with the grandma on my mom's side, just so I can clear that up. I was with my dad. My dad smoked weed at the time, but he doesn't anymore. He can't. But at the time, my dad was like smoking pot. Or no, actually my dad was sober at the time, now that I think about it. He's been sober for a while. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Anyway. Yeah. Yes, Garrett, correct. Anyway, so, I was smoking weed at the time. My dad was going to, like, AA and NA and all that shit to get clean off of drugs and alcohol and all that fun bullshit. And I was smoking weed. Heavily smoking weed. I'm not talking smoking a pinch hitter here and there throughout the day. No. Like, I'm talking I was 14 years old. All me and my friends would do is go mow grass, go buy weed, smoke weed, go mow more grass, go buy weed, smoke more weed, go mow more grass, buy weed, smoke. You guys get the fucking point. That's all we would fucking do. That's all we thought about. We woke up, we got high, we hung out, we got high, we went to fucking, or we got high and then we went to sleep. That's all we did. I was 14. Sue me. So, my dad and I were hanging out. My grandma, that on my dad's side, so I'm just going to say grandma from this point on, and you guys are going to understand, okay? When I say grandma right now, during this story, it's my grandma, it's my dad's mom, okay? So my grandma, we didn't know my grandma was coming over, okay? And I brought my bong with me, but I had it in my backpack. And my dad, I don't think my dad knew I was smoking, my dad knew I was smoking weed at the time. I tried to hide it from him, but I'm pretty sure he knew. Like, he told me the other day, he was like, Christian, when I first got visitation with you, you were always stoned. And I was like, no, I wasn't. Yeah, I was. So, fucking, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, I'm sitting on his couch, he goes to get in the shower, and I think, hey, this is a perfect time to go outside and smoke some. This is a perfect time to go smoke some grass. So I go outside, I pack the bowl, light it, hit it, exhale. I'm feeling good, right? You know, like, if you've ever smoked weed, you know what I'm talking about. That good first hit feeling where it's like, I'm high, I'm about to be high. You know, you guys already know what's up. Mr. Hitman, what the hell are you talking about? Mr. Hitman, your internet, dude, it's got to be on your end, because everything is fine on my end. If anybody else is having problems with the stream, please put it in the chat, because I'm so confused. First, Mr. Hitman said my camera's all fucked up. Now he's saying my internet's down. Is everybody watching? Like, is it good? Or is it, like, down? It's fine for Mrs. Garner. Maddie Gart, what about you guys? I'm really scared now. I'm actually tripping a little bit. About to just text the wife because she's taking forever to put a comment. Okay, she says it's still going. We're good. Alright. Anyway. Back to the fucking... Thank you, Gart. Thank you, Mrs. Garner. Thank you, the wife. Appreciate you guys. So, anyway. Back to what I was getting at. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So, I go out... You guys already know how it is if you've smoked weed. Alright? That first hit feeling where you know you're about to be stony baloney. You're about to be fucking zoned out of your mind. Okay. All of a sudden, after I exhale, I get this bad feeling. You know, when you smoke weed, they say you get paranoia. So that's what I thought it was. I was like, oh, I'm just a little paranoid. It's probably nothing. I'm just stoned. You know, I'm getting high, whatever. All of a sudden, I see a silver Kia Soul pulling around the block. And it's my grandma. Okay, now the fucked up thing here. My grandma worked for the fucking police department. Okay? Like, she booked people in. She always told me if she caught me smoking weed, she'd make sure I went to jail and shit. So, I immediately run to my dad's shed. I'm not talking about a little run. I'm talking full sprint as fast as I can. I Lightning McQueen'd across that motherfucking yard, alright? And I get to the shed, and I discover that it's locked. My dad never locks his shed. Never. So that's kind of what's fucked up about this. So I fucking open the window and set my bong inside of the shed. And I walk back to the house. My grandma didn't see me. I don't know how she didn't, but she didn't see me. But I walk in the house and she's like, "Oh, Christian, it's so good to see you. I didn't even know you were here. I didn't know you were here. Where were you?" So I lied. Okay, I lied. I said I was walking around the block. Okay, so I give her a hug, which I shouldn't have done because I probably smelled like dank weed. And my dad comes out of the shower. We cook food. We're eating. All of a sudden, so I forget about the bong at this point. I'm stoned a little bit. I'm eating some food. I'm talking with my family. I'm talking with my little sister. Completely forget about the bong being out in the shed. Okay? Keep in mind, all this happened at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So, we cooked food at like 2 o'clock. So my bong's just chilling out there. Okay? And my dad says, "I'm going to go mow the grass." Guess where the fucking lawnmower was? Guess where the lawnmower was? Yep. You guessed it. In the shed. So, I'm freaking the fuck out. Not even, well, I wasn't freaking out yet. But he goes outside. I think nothing of it. I hear the shed door open. Think nothing of it. About 2 minutes go by. And then it hits me. Hits me like a fucking ton of bricks. My bong is inside the shed where the lawnmower is. And it's like in plain sight. I didn't hide it. I just set it on a shelf in my shed. So I'm going to change the music up real quick. Anyway. So, I'm fucking panicking. I am absolutely in panic at this point because I know he's going to come inside with it. My grandma's going to see it. She's going to call the cops. I'm going to go to jail. I'm having all these thoughts. About the time I start to try to calm myself down mentally, my dad pops the door open, and I'm just looking at his hands. Where's my bong? Where's my bong? Where's my bong? Freaking the fuck out. He pops his head in the door. Son, come here. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I'm just like, well, I was like, you know what? I made a big boy decision today, and I'm about to pay the big boy consequences. Now I'm thinking I'm going to get out there. He's going to beat my ass. He's going to make me break my bong. He's already broke it, and he's just going to show me the remains, or I'm going to have to watch him break it, which is going to break my heart a little bit. So I get out there. We go back to the shed. He opens the door, and he points right at it, and he goes, what is that? I looked at it, and I was like, that's my bong. And he's like, do you want to tell me why your bong's in my shed? And I said, well, Dad, said, Grandma Shark pulled up. I freaked out, and I put it in here. And he goes, all right, son. He goes, look, you're going to smoke the shit, whether I approve of it or not, because I know how teenagers are. He goes, from this point moving forward, you don't have to hide it from me. But next time you're going to smoke, just smoke in the basement. Don't smoke outside. Don't get the cops called. Think smart. You know, be responsible. If you're responsible with it, it's just like drinking. I'm not going to give a shit. I was like, alright, Dad, I got you. So he found my bong and surprisingly didn't rip my head off. But after that, I really, for real, didn't really fuck with weed anymore after that. And that's a life story, I believe, on my channel that I've already posted. Yeah, I actually posted that with Quentin from Pixel Clubhouse. After this incident, like a couple months actually, a couple months later, I got real strung out on other shit, and I just quit smoking weed altogether. So I didn't really ever get the chance to just sit in my dad's house and smoke weed. Which realistically, now that I'm clean and I don't do anything but vape and occasionally have a beer, looking back on it, I'm kind of glad that I didn't just sit around and smoke weed, because you know what could have happened at that point, you know. So there's that. Tell you another funny story. This one involves Mr. Hitman, actually, because I know he said earlier he wanted to have a life story with him in it. So I'll tell you one. This one's when he's really young, though. He's probably not gonna. I don't even know if he's still watching. Mr. Hitman, if you're still watching, drop a comment. He probably isn't gonna remember this one, because like I said, he was really young when this happened. So in 2006. We had a super bad storm here in Illinois. Like, super fucking bad. Like, I think the power was out for, like, a week or two. Okay, yeah. Mr. Hitman, you're still in here. So, I think the power was out for, like, a week or two or something. It was out for a while. My cat actually died in that storm. It's pretty fucked up. But, anyway. So, he was staying the night. My grandma was watching him when the storm went down, and all hell was breaking loose. And at the time, I'm not gonna talk about why he was staying with us, because that's him and his family's business. But he was basically living with us at the time, and anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. He was staying with us at the time. We had this little lantern. Okay, this is really fucked up too, but we had this lantern that was in the middle of the living room, so we could see. Okay, we could see in the living room, we could see in the kitchen, and we could see to go to the bathroom. We had 3 lanterns in the whole house. And I'm not talking about, like, lanterns that, like, you light. I'm talking about, like, electronic camping lanterns that you could put batteries in and shit. That would last for, like, 2 weeks off 2 AA batteries and shit. They don't make them like they used to, man. So anyway, Mr. Hitman's playing with this lantern in the living room. And he's, like, probably, like, 2, maybe 3 years old, maybe. Like, he's still crawling around. No. He's probably a year old. Maybe, no. No, he was walking, actually. He was about 2 or 3 years old. Let's just go with that. 2 or 3 years old. And, I kept telling him, put the fucking lantern down. Put the lantern down. Like, you're playing with fire, kid. I'm trying to convince him to put this fucking lantern down. He's not having it. He just keeps doing it. Keeps doing it. So I go and I get my grandma, and I'm like, look, this kid's going to set the house on fire. He's going to hurt himself. You need to get this lantern out of this kid's hand. So my grandma comes in there. She tries to get it from him. Mr. Hitman starts throwing a fit. And like, oh, he's a kid. You know, what are you going to do when your child starts throwing a fit? You're not going to beat him, obviously. So she's like calming him down. A little bit of time went by, and this little motherfucker, Mr. Hitman, I know you're watching. I know you're watching right now. And when you turn 18, I'm not going to forget this. Just saying. This little motherfucker walks up to me at 2 years old, looks me dead in my eyes, calls me a punk, and smacks me. Smacked me across my face. Now keep in mind at the time I was like 11 years old. No. Yeah. I was like 10 or 11 years old. You know, as a 10 or 11 year old, I wasn't thinking much. I don't think much now. I definitely wasn't thinking when I was a kid. So he starts running away laughing. And what do I think is a good idea? Instead of just like swatting him on the ass, instead of just telling my grandma, just maybe yelling at him, you know what I do? I Spartan kick him. In the back. I Spartan kick a 2-year-old at 11 years old in the back. He fucking goes flying across the fucking room, smashes into the couch, which in turn scares the fuck out of the cat. The cat jumps off the couch. My grandma hears the commotion. She comes running in, and she's like, "Christian, my God!" And she starts like throwing a fit. Mr. Hitman's fucking screaming his head off, crying, because his 11-year-old cousin just Spartan kicked him into a couch. And my grandma was so pissed, and I remember getting the belt wore out on my ass that night. I deserved it, kinda. Mr. Hitman, you know, kinda deserved the Spartan kick in my opinion. But he was a 2-year-old, so I should have kinda just let it slide. Oh well. Anyway, so yeah, that happened. So, that was a long time ago. And Mr. Hitman, when you turn 18, I'm gonna remember that bitch smack. I'm gonna remember it. Can't wait for your birthday. Can't wait for you to be 18, buddy. Alright, so that was the story with Mr. Hitman. If you guys have any other story requests of like a time period or like whatever, just drop them in the comments now. If not, I might go ahead and end stream. I am pretty tired. I gotta get up hella early tomorrow. So just drop a comment. Let me know if you guys want to hear anything else. If not, I'm just gonna end stream. I really like this beat. Hospital visits. Okay. Mr. Hitman, I might after this one. I don't know. This hospital story might be my last one. I'm not sure. Alright. So, that one time you almost died. Gar, which time? There's been like 5. Like a specific one that you want to hear? Or just one that when I almost died? Alright. Do farts. Right, Maddie. Right, because if I could fart on command, I totally would. I'd fart right into my mic. Actually, it's probably a bad idea because I put my mouth all over that. Alright, okay, so you guys want to hear a story about sometime I almost died. I got you. So, let me think of one. That, because, like, none of them are funny. Well, I guess the car wreck one's kind of funny. Alright, so this will be the last story for tonight before I end stream and go to sleep because I'm super tired and I gotta be super early tomorrow. So this is the life story of the time. I almost got into a car wreck. Well, I did get into a car wreck, but I almost died from it. Not clickbait. So, what happened was, I was driving around. Well, I wasn't myself driving. I was like 13 at the time. And my buddy had just got his license. We're out and about. We're driving around. We're having a good time. And we're listening to music. Okay. Now, I cannot listen to Freak on a Leash the same ever again by Korn. I cannot listen to Freak on a Leash by Korn the same because that was the song that was playing. I remember that more than anything else. We're driving on the highway. I'm not gonna say which highway because I don't want anybody random just showing up at my house. You know, people are fucking freaky like that. Anyway, so we're driving on the highway, and my buddy looks at me and he's like, "Don't freak out." And I'm like, "Why?" And keep in mind, it's wintertime. It's snowing. Okay? And we're driving like 55. He's like, "Don't freak out." And I'm like, "Why?" And he gives me this look. And without missing a beat, I just looked at him. I was like, we're wrecking, aren't we? And he's like, yes. And I was like, whatever. Like, I always kind of, like, have... Every time I've gotten into a car wreck, I was always told by my grandparents and by my dad, if you're going to get in a car wreck, try to relax during the car wreck. Like, obviously, it's so much easier said than done, but try to keep your body relaxed, because if you can relax, you won't get as fucked up. That's why drunk drivers actually live most of the time when they get in car wrecks, because their body is just completely relaxed. So, I know we're getting ready to go off the road. We're going 55. There's no saving us at this point. We're inside of a PT Cruiser, so it's not like that's going to offer us much protection. I'm like, alright, here we go. And the way I knew we were getting ready to go off the road is, like, we're going straight like this, okay? And there's, like, a curved turn like that. Okay, so, like that. There's a curved turn coming, like this. And I'm like, alright. So, we're, like, if here's the turn, right? If my hand right now is the turn, we're, like, right here, okay? So, we've got, like, an actual feet. We've got, like, a good probably 30, 40 foot away. And I was just like, alright. So, I just kind of was like this, and I seen it coming. We start going into the ditch, and I'm like, alright, here we fucking go. And as we start sliding into the ditch, I think in my head what I thought was going to happen was we were going to hit the hood into the ditch, flip forward, land on the top of the car, and we would just climb out and probably be okay. The airbag was going to hurt getting in the face with it, but I figured we were going to be okay. But what actually happened was, we start sliding into the ditch, but instead of the car, so if here's a ditch, instead of the car doing this and stopping, it actually went down and up, effectively ramping the car. Okay? Yes, Gart, it was snowing, and we couldn't slow down, because the roads hadn't been cleared. And I told my friend all night to slow down, and he's like, I'm Ken Block, you know? So he wouldn't slow down. So effectively, instead of hitting like this, the car kind of turned, like, the ditch turned into a ramp for the car. So we go fucking flying. And I don't mean, like, 100 foot in the air or anything crazy, but we caught some hair. Like, we caught some hang time. We caught some air. Like, dude, like, you know how long it traditionally takes to, like, pop open a soda and take a drink of it? Like, you think about it, just like, that's about how long we were in the air. So it doesn't sound like a long time, but when you're in the car, in the fucking air, flying into oncoming traffic, that's a long goddamn time to be in the fucking air, alright? Let me tell you. So we're fucking flying through the goddamn air. And I just see this fucking van, okay? And I just knew that we were gonna hit this fucking van. Like, there was no stopping it at this point. And I just looked at my buddy, and I was like, Mark, we're gonna hit that van. And he's like, fuck. Boom! Smashed right into it. Smashed into the van. Fucking, the way we slammed into it, too, was kind of fucked up. So, like, here's the van, like, driving down the road, doing its thing, okay? Then, like, here's us, okay? So we go fucking flying, and we hit the van like this. So, like our hood smashed down into the top of their hood. And we just smash into that van, fucking fly onto the highway. Fucking cars are totaled. Like, the cars are fucking totaled at this point. And because the lady in the van got hit and then pushed on the brakes, she slid from us hitting her like this. So she pushes on the brakes when we hit her. She slides like that. Another car smashes the back end of her car, sending her into a spin. So she's spinning out. We're fucking in the other side of the ditch at this point. And the airbag on my side went off when we hit the van. So I got smacked in the fucking face with an airbag. My buddy's airbag didn't fucking go off for some reason, which pissed me off more because, like, I got hit in the face with an airbag. That was pointless. I think airbags are so pointless. It seems like they do more damage than anything. But anyway, so we get out of the car. Other than, like, the burns on my face from the airbag and the little bit of whiplash. Well, actually, it was a lot of whiplash, but at the time I couldn't feel it because the adrenaline's pumping and shit. Other than that, we walked away unscathed. Now, this is where it kind of gets funny, but like it's wrong that I think this is funny, but it's so fucking. The lady that gets out of the van, okay, to yell at us, looks like that lady from that meme that's like, "Let me speak to your manager right now." She's got that haircut, that voice. She's like, she like speaks through her nose. You know, she doesn't talk through her mouth. She like talks through her nasal cavity, which just, I shouldn't say that bugs me about people, but like that, it just irks me for some reason. Like, I know I talk through mine a little bit at times, but not like this lady. Not like this lady. So, anyways, she gets out and she looks at us. And she just gives... She was giving me the dirtier look because I had, like, super long hair. Like, it was, like, down to here. Actually. It was, like, that long. Right there. It was, like, that long. Anyway. So, she's given us the dirtiest look. Okay, the dirtiest look I've ever seen. It was kind of like this look. She was, like... She's, like, all rage-induced and shit. So, she, like, starts screaming. Like, and not even, like, screaming like a fuck you. No, she's just, like, gets out of the car. She looks at us. She gives us, like, the fucking look. And then all of a sudden, she's just, like... Ah! She's, like, freaks the fuck... Like, it was, like, a fucking demon was, like, ass-raping her in a fire. Like, it was so fucked. Like... I can't explain it to you other than that. Like, it sounded like a demon screaming for help during an exorcism. She was like, ah! Like, freak. And me and my friend Martin are like, dude, calm the fuck down. Like, you're not dead, you know? Like, trying to talk her down, and she's just not having it. She's fucking going ballistic. There's people getting out of their cars. People calling the fucking police. This dude's fucking screaming at me and my friend. You fuck... And he had, like, the thickest southern accent. Of you motherfuckers, you don't know what in the goddamn fuck you're doing behind the wheel of a goddamn car. And we're like 13 and 16. So we're like, the fuck, you know? And this bitch is over here having a fucking demon orgasm. This fucking southern dude's chewing, talking shit. The cops are fucking, like... trying to get there fast, but they're slipping and sliding like fucking penguins because of the snow. The fucking dude that smashed into the lady gets out of the car, and like he's like the most polite guy out of everybody. Like he walked up and was like checking on everybody, and he looks at us and he's like, "Are you gentlemen okay? Are you gentlemen okay? Is everything okay? My name is Kevin, and I just want to make sure everything is okay." You know, kind of that guy. He just kind of wanted to make sure we were okay, and like he was super nice and like super cool about us kind of fucking his car up, essentially. So we call up my buddy Mark's dad, and we're like, yo, we're not saying we totaled the car, but we totaled the car. And you know, his dad really wasn't pissed. Weirdly enough, his dad was actually just more happy at the fact we were okay. However, the saying goes, hell knows no fury like a woman's scorn. His fucking mom was so goddamn irate on the phone. I had the phone like this far away from me. Okay, this is like selfie status. Okay, and I could hear her clear as fuck yelling and cussing and screaming and just going off about how stupid motherfuckers we were and how irresponsible my friend was, and he'd never drive in their car again. This is the first day he had his license too, so like let that sink in. The cops get there, the cops get there, they're pissed. It's like 12 o'clock at night at this point. The wreck happened at like 11, so it took them like an hour to get there because of the snow. They're fucking pissed. We're catching a lecture from the cops about we're a bunch of fucking loser-ass teenagers. This lady's still having a demon orgasm over in the corner. Fucking Kevin is still whispering everything he's saying. The redneck is still talking about Donald Trump in America. And well, Donald Trump wasn't a thing then. But he's talking about fucking George W. Bush and God knows what, and just fucking... It was like a monkey having sex with a football, is the way I described the situation. And it just got worse as the night went on, and like the cops were trying to talk to this redneck guy. This is like the best part of the story. It's funny, but like it's fucked up. And they're like, "Sir, what happened?" And this guy's like, "Well, I'll tell you what. Them dumb motherfuckers over there, them goddamn sons of bitches, came flying out there like a fucking spaceship." I mean, this dude's fucking just fucking stupid. I mean, I'm sorry. I have a lot of redneck friends. Most of them aren't stupid, but this guy was like your stereotypical fucking redneck. Like, chewing tobacco, drove a big truck, talked southern as fuck, and was wearing camouflage and Carhartt. So the cops ended up giving my buddy a ticket, giving me a curfew ticket, which was bullshit, because we were going home when the wreck happened, and I paid the ticket. That's not important, but gave me a curfew ticket, called my grandma, took me home, well, brought me home, I should say. The car got towed. It was totaled completely. His dad really, Mark's dad wasn't all that pissed. I thought his dad was going to be irate, because they had only had that car like 2 or 3 years. It was still basically a brand new car, but I guess it had already been paid off, so that's why he wasn't too irate about it. And they made an insurance claim, and they ended up being able to get a new car out of it or whatever, but yeah. So, my life lesson of that is, A, don't drive with your friend who just got their license, okay, first and foremost. 2, do not ever drive the speed limit when it's snowing. Go slower. And 3, if you get in a wreck and there's a redneck, you are automatically a goddamn stupid son of a bitch. That's just how it goes. So on that note, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Life Stories with your boy. I will be live streaming tomorrow night once I get home from wrestling. I'm probably going to live stream all night because we do have a long-ass drive. Now, please keep in mind that from this Sunday, till Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, from this Sunday to this Tuesday, there will be absolutely no live streams. Me, the wife, Gart's Gaming, and their family are going out of town on vacation. We're going to a national forest. I will not have reception. I will not have Wi-Fi. So please keep that in mind. On that note, I love you guys. Thank you for all the love and support you have been showing the channel. Before we go, we're going to kick it a little old school here in the True Nerd Nation tonight. For all you smokers out there, get whatever you're smoking, get it lit. Let's chill for a bit. And for all you vapors out there, get whatever you're vaping on, get that cotton drip, and let's take a hit. Cheers, guys. Those ghost nails always get one little cough out of me. Alright, I love you guys, and until tomorrow night's live stream, peace, love, and zombie slaying to all of you guys. A wonderful, wonderful True Nerd Nation. I love you guys so very much, and I will catch you all in the next video. Later, guys. Yeah!